What's up, guys? Cart from CQBRadio here. As always, thanks for checking out the review. It's Christmas afternoon, and I'm making a little video here for you. We're looking at this item that came to us from Airsoft Atlanta, and as you can tell, it's a Surefire flashlight. And I mentioned this in the unboxing video, but Airsoft Atlanta is one of the only companies out there that are airsoft companies that have been licensed to carry Surefire products. So these are great illumination products. Let me see exactly what they call themselves here. It's on the back. Illumination tools. And this is the story of Surefire. And if you look at the link down below, it's actually a little video that talks about the history of Surefire. But these are, made for law enforcement, military, high quality products. And it's great if you're a serious airsofter, or if you just want to get a nice flashlight, and you shop at Airsoft Atlanta. Anyhow, you can pick up one of these guys. Very high quality flashlights. So just some of the quick rundown here. As you can see, weight 4.1 ounces. Let me just bring that in a little bit. 4.1 ounces. The length 5.1 inches. It does come with the 2 batteries included, which is always good. This is an incandescent flashlight as opposed to an LED. Your max lumen output is 65, and your runtime is 60 minutes. So let me open this guy up, and we'll look at it a little bit more in depth. All right, so a couple things to talk about here. First of all, as you can see, this is the user manual, and you can also tell there's a bit of it missing on the top. This guy, a little bit missing there. This guy came through okay, but when I cut through the box to get it out, I chopped up the manual a little bit. So not so smooth there, but no big deal because it doesn't cut off a ton of the information. So just be aware when you take it out, you don't do what I did, but no huge deal. I do want to say, packaged very nicely. These guys are not going to fall out, so just be careful when you do that. Maybe be a little more selective in your cutting process. So you do get with this Surefire flashlight, you get some reminders about the batteries and also some warnings. This is really actually pretty important to check out when it comes to these types of flashlights, because the key thing is that these can get really hot. So you will need to be careful with this. This is not just some cheap piece of junk flashlight that you're going to get at some big box store. These are high quality lights, so if you leave it on and leave it someplace where it can catch fire, you're going to have some serious issues. So be very careful. Quick side note here, my daughter tried to draw a little face on my hand there this morning for Christmas, so that's what you're looking at there. And then their warranty information, also really good to know. So also a reminder to register your flashlight, and actually at this point, if you register, you can actually win a free flashlight, so make sure you do that. Now, a couple things. I'll talk about this guy. First of all, cost over at Airsoft Atlanta, it's going to be about $50. The other thing to tell you is that this guy is a incandescent flashlight as opposed to an LED. LEDs are very popular. There are pluses and minuses of the different types. One thing I'll say is I've got a buddy who's a police officer, and I was asking him about what they were running LEDs and whatnot, and he said no, they actually run incandescents because of some of the advantages that they have based on what they get for prices and things like that. So just keep in mind, LED does have its advantages, but also there are plenty of people out there still using incandescent, and Surefire is still making them, so it's still a quality option. This is how it comes. You can see this tail cap is kind of loosened. You want to crank this guy down, and the pressure switch on the bottom is kind of interesting. You can hear nothing, and the reason is because it doesn't click in to turn on. If you want to turn it on and leave it on, you basically crank this guy all the way down, and the light comes on. You can see the light down there. If you want to have it momentary on, you loosen this guy up, and just a little pressure here, and that's going to turn your light on. Now, one thing that also is worth noting, let's see if I can get it to happen, but if you crank it all the way out, let's see, there you go. It's almost totally out here, but somehow that makes the connection happen with your metal touching the battery and all that stuff. So just be careful. If you're like, oh, I'm just going to crank this guy totally open so it doesn't go on, it can actually still go on. So it's kind of in this middle range where it's going to be safest. So the concept there obviously is that they're saving money on pressure switch and all different types of things, but easy enough. Crank it all the way down, and light goes on. And if you want to have it kind of in your ready to use mode, crank it back just a little bit, and then you can press that button, and it comes out. Two more things I wanted to talk about real quick. You have a coated and tempered cover window here, and that is, it's good because if you bang that guy around, you got something that's a little stronger than some cheap flashlight you're going to get out there. The other thing I want to show you is this, and just compare it to these guys here. as far as size, sometimes people think, oh, well, flashlight, it's a little bit extra weight. I'm trying to really stay high speed, low drag. You got angled foregrip 2 or angled foregrip here, little stubby vert grip, magazine flashlight. It's not taking up a ton of extra space. It can really be a very useful tool. Just take a moment and think about how many times you've been out at an op and somebody you hear has something break in their mech box. They're trying to fix something, and having a little extra light to look inside and work on it could be a help. So you could be that guy who's a resource to others, or if your gun goes down, you can certainly help yourself out. So let's talk about uses here real quick. Obviously, if you're out in an airsoft op, well, the nearest one that's really kind of big in the New England area has been Operation Pine Plains. It happens up at Fort Drum. There's some other bigger ones that are around, but that's probably the most well-known one. And since that's really a 24-hour op straight through the night, having a flashlight, not just for as a weapon light, but just a general use flashlight is good. So, again, you're at an event, at an op, you got somebody who's next to you who's working on something, boom, now you can give them some light to help them out. You're moving through a building, you need to be checking some things out, boom, you got your light. Surefire, if you're familiar with them at all, these are, again, high-quality, mil-spec, ready flashlights. They're ready to be used and abused. A lot of the ones that are built for weapons have a kind of a cutout here, so it's thinner, and you can put your weapon mount on like this, and then you can put a pressure switch in the back, or you can mount it in such a way that as you're holding your weapon, you can just have your thumb ready to hit it and put that light on. This guy, you could get a universal mount to put on and then put on your weapon, which is a great option. I would generally use this just as a something I'd keep in my pouch. If you're, for example, one thing for me is you're working on a mech box and you got to get inside something and it's a little bit darker out. Even if you're in the woods, you're working on something, you got some shade, you need some light. Here's a great option. Now you can slip this into a pouch. You can slip this into your any kind of chest rig or whatever you're wearing. Another option is this guy right here, which I'm going to do a review on very soon. But it's basically a QD carry holster, if you will, for your flashlight. This guy fits in there pretty much perfectly, as you can see. Close that guy down. It says Surefire across it. Hook and loop closure there, and then hook and loop closure on the back. Actually, the other day, just to test this flashlight carrier out, I wore this on my belt with another Surefire that I have, and it didn't fit as well as this guy. This guy fits just perfectly, as you can see. But it was nice to just have that flashlight kind of quickly accessible on me. I usually carry a flashlight in my my cargo jeans. I didn't have any extra carpenter pockets there on those carpenter jeans, so I just threw this guy in my belt anyhow. So nice to have your flashlight on you. Again, if you guys are not familiar with Surefire, I highly encourage you to check out that video. But these are high quality flashlights, and to spend $50 and to get something that's made by Surefire, very solid. This guy is not metal; it's like a high durability polymer. And it's gonna, really take a beating, take a licking, and keep on ticking, as they say. So, as you can see, it is pretty blinding. So, for you guys who are in CQB, different ways to do that. If you attach this to a mount and then put it on your AEG, obviously you can use this to temporarily kind of like spot people and then blind them and then shoot your weapon. Obviously, you got to be careful. You're not holding this in somebody's eyes and they're losing their eyesight. You got to be careful about that. But, quick flash on, shoot. The other option, obviously, is if you're using a pistol, to be holding this guy and then your pistol in the other hand. And you'll see, as far as my hand, this guy fits perfectly. So, you get a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger light, and it kind of falls out or it's too small. This guy, as is, pretty much perfect. So, again, $50, good deal. Surefire makes it. You can get over at Airsoft Atlanta. Links are down below to the Surefire story and also to Airsoft Atlanta's site. So check this guy out. I'm going to use this guy for a while, test it out, and we'll see how it holds up. I'm pretty sure it's going to be excellent because Surefire just puts so much effort into making their products high quality. But check out the link. Thanks for checking out the review, and we'll talk to you guys soon. This is Clark from CQBRadio signing off. Keep on firing.